Being a night guard at a local grocery store seemed easy enough. Lock the doors, walk the aisles, make sure nothing weird happens. That's what I signed up for. But on my first night, the manager, Mr. Clark, pulled me aside before he left. He handed me a small piece of paper and said, "Follow these rules exactly. No exceptions." I chuckled. Got it. Store rules. But his face didn't change. He stared at me, dead serious. "No jokes, kid. If you don't follow them, you won't make it through the night." The note only had 4 rules, written in shaky handwriting. At 12:15 a.m., the freezer door will open on its own. Do not go inside no matter what you hear. If the power flickers, count to 5. If it doesn't come back on by 5, hide in aisle 7 and don't make a sound. At 3 a.m., you'll hear someone knocking on the front doors. Don't look. Don't open them. If you hear the bread aisle music playing after 4 a.m., leave immediately. Lock the doors behind you and run. It had to be a joke, some kind of hazing for the new guy. But something about his tone made me keep the note in my pocket. When the clock hit 11 and the store was locked up, everything was quiet. Too quiet. Just me and the hum of the refrigerators. At exactly 12:15, I heard it. The freezer door creaked open. My stomach tightened. No way. No way it was real. Then I heard it. A voice, faint, weak. "Help me, please." It sounded like a woman. Her voice trembled like she was cold and scared. I stood there, frozen. I wanted to help, but I remembered the rule. Do not go inside, no matter what you hear. The voice got louder. "Don't leave me here, please." It was unbearable. My legs felt like lead, but I stayed put. Then her voice changed. It turned deeper, growling, something inhuman. The freezer door slammed shut on its own, and the voice stopped. I didn't move for a long time after that. Later, at 1:45, the lights flickered. My heart raced as I started to count. 1, 2, 3. They came back on at 4, and I almost sighed in relief. But then they flickered again and went off completely. I bolted to aisle 7 and crouched down behind the shelves, remembering the rule. Don't make a sound. That's when I heard it. Footsteps. Slow. Heavy. They weren't normal footsteps. Each one sounded like it was shaking the floor. I covered my mouth to keep from breathing too loud. The steps got closer. Closer. Then they stopped right on the other side of the shelf. I could feel it. Something was there. Breathing. It smelled rotten, like spoiled meat. I thought I was done for. But after a long, tense moment, the footsteps moved away. The lights flickered back on, and the store went silent again. At 3 a.m., I heard knocking. Knock, knock, knock. It was slow, deliberate. I stayed near the counter, gripping it so hard my knuckles turned white. The rule was clear. Don't look. Don't open the door. The knocking got louder, more urgent. Then I heard a voice. "Hey, it's me, Mr. Clark. Open up. I forgot my keys." My blood ran cold. Mr. Clark had left hours ago. The voice got angrier. "Open the door, you idiot. Let me in." I closed my eyes and stayed still. The knocking turned into pounding, shaking the glass, but I didn't move. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. For a moment, I thought I was safe. But the worst was still coming. At 4:12, I heard music. It was soft, cheerful, and coming from the bread aisle. It was an old jingle, the kind you'd hear in a retro commercial. I didn't think. I grabbed the keys and bolted toward the door. As I fumbled with the lock, I heard something behind me. Footsteps, running, fast, too fast. I threw the door open, sprinted outside, and slammed it shut behind me. Through the glass, I saw it. Something was standing in the bread aisle, watching me. It was tall and thin, its body twisted and wrong, like it didn't belong here. It tilted its head, almost curious, as the lights inside flickered and went out. I didn't stick around to see what would happen next. I drove straight home and quit the job the next morning. I don't know what was in that store or what would have happened if I broke the rules. All I know is I followed them, and I'm still alive to tell you this story. So if you ever get a night shift at a grocery store and they hand you a list of rules, don't question it. Just follow them. It might save your life.